So I'm using some tile grout powder stuff and a straw to simulate meteorite impacts and how they help shape the surface of the moon and Earth. So the powder is representing moon materials. So what you do is you take your straw, and if it's a bendy straw you can bend it, and then you do short, you can do angled, or just straight down, and short and different amounts of speed for your air, and it will come out looking like these various ones. So I'm going to start with a couple straight-ons, and we're going to do a small puff and then a bigger puff.
Go ahead.
Alright, so I'm going to do my straight ones. They're all going to be about the same. The straw is going to be at about the same level over the surface. Alright, so this one, I did a middle amount of the poof, and a little long. This one I did for the same amount of long, just less air. This one I did a little longer, and this one had the most poof. So that's the difference of those.
So that was not only a little bit longer, but you blew harder too?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now I'm going to do my angled ones. Alright, so I did this one, was the strongest. And I did it at a middle amount of poof. This one was the same amount of poof, but for less time. This one had the least time and the least poof. And as you can see, since they're angled, they go more out. They slide a bit more instead of just going straight down. It's kind of like Superman's pod thing.
So it changes the shape?
Yeah, it changes
of the crater?
The shape of the crater. So depending on the angle that you come from, it will like slide, or it will inject, or it can really vary.
So instead of having a circular one now, what shape is it this time?
It's more like an oval. Okay. So as you can see, there's a steep wall right here, and then it's more like a slope over here. This is because the air was digging down right here where the steep wall is, but over here the air was pushing material out. So it didn't make a steep wall, it just made a fine slope. It's a fine slope. And then over here, this one, we have the same thing, the steep wall and then the nice hill. Because this is where it impacted. But then you can see that this is just about the size of my straw, but over here I can actually do a fine, I have space. That's because the air is pushing out in all the directions, and so it's pushing out, but it's also going in all the directions, so it will be wider there than over here. It fans out. Alright, so we're going to use a different material, and I'm going to start out with straight down ones, and then I'll do angled ones with the different material. So this is play sand. It's coarser or larger than the other stuff that we use. So I'm going to start with my straight ones. Ready? Alright, so I did this one was short, but a lot of power, a lot of air, so it went pretty deep and out. This one was short and not a lot of air, so it was really small, and it's harder to see how small it went because there's a huge rock in the middle of it. but it went right below that rock. And then this one was longer and more, so it went even more. So it went more out and deeper.